people that say there are reptilians, and of course it is growing. People that are saying there are, that they're eating humans, that there are ships flying, and there's going to be a war.
That I've released by me saying it will cause them to come forward. It takes one. Here's one thing about corruption you got to understand too. There's 100 people in a system, and 99 corrupt. That don't work, because that means one person can bring them down, and 99 people that have a corrupt system going aren't going to let that happen. So, what does that tell you about our system? It's 100% corrupt.
Well, I don't agree with
personally believe that there's anybody in office that's not. Not one. Not one.
That's pretty bleak.
That's pretty bleak, and it's pretty realistic.
But I'd also say it's pretty realistic.
One in there. I just don't.
Yeah. So should people vote?
Like
if
people talk to me and stuff like that, but they're not part of the decision making. Never will be.
Mm-hmm. So have you talked to a skeptic of these things? Have you been able at any point to convince them what you say is true?
I have very little friends, and the people I know don't question my integrity about it. I think I've displayed complete confidence in what I say. If I don't know anything about it, I was honest with you and said, I don't know.
Well, the way I've always looked at it is...
You're paying me $1 million to say this, aren't you?
Well, sure. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So what do I have to gain?
So I would say that if there are two people in the room and one person said, here's what I saw, here's what I experienced, and another person said, you're crazy, I don't believe it, that's really not that's not a good answer to what the testimony of the person was. So in that case, the person with the testimony outweighs the person who says, I don't believe it, because they're not offering anything to say it's not happening.
Right. And, well, they're in plausible deniability, and they'll find out soon enough.
They might.
I asked a guy the other day, at what point during the tribulation would he finally figure out there's no rapture, and he goes, at the end of it. There's not much. I just have to laugh at that one because there's not much room to go on there, is there?
Do I hear some laughter from the Lieutenant Colonel?
That was one of the funniest things I heard. I said, what point would you believe that there's no tribulation? And he goes, at the end of it.
That's deep. That is so deep. Hey, quick question for you, though. Somebody wants to know, the first time you seen a reptilian, how did that go with your mind?
I freaked out and urinated on myself.
Really?
Really.
You just couldn't believe, beyond anything that you could ever imagine, and there it was.
It was shock in all its glory. I was truly shocked.
And
I had to slap myself in the face. And I took my canteen, poured water in my face, smacked myself to no end until I had bruises on my face, and kept looking, and there they were, and I finally just accepted it. It's just another one of those things, Greg. Just another one of those things.
It seems like a little bit more than just one of those things, Greg.
Yeah, I know. It's just, what are you going to do, Some people are going to believe me, most aren't, and I really don't care. I'm telling you what I know and what I've seen, and I'm a little bit more revealing than a lot of people.
Well, I would say, there's a couple topics here I got written down here, so we can have you back on the show. Sounds like you can.
Glad to come back.
Sounds like you can tell us some more things, and boy,
you
sure have
on for 100 shows and never get to the end of what I say.
Well, you know what? You either have the best imagination in the world, or these you've seen something and it's imprinted into your mind. I mean, you've not hesitated at all. You just talk about these things like you were firsthand there. I wasn't there, so.
Well, this is the first week I've ever been on radio before, and I've been clobbered by people wanting me on, and that's not much time to make up all this stuff, is it?
No, it isn't. That's why I had you on. You are actually, and the people that are listening know you're the longest held guest ever for any broadcast, and I've been on there for about 5 years now. And I just wanted.
Serious?
Yeah.
I'm the longest held guest you ever had.
That's right. You're it. And
well, at least I broke a record, huh?
Yeah, you broke a record, and I thought, well, during the length of the interview, I could break you down, because kind of, somewhere, and I'd break you down till you cracked and admitted it was all a fraud, but I haven't got there, and I don't think I can.
I've got a lot of confidence in what I say, and God's revealed a lot of things to me too.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to say thanks to Paul and Faith and a lot of people that are praying for me, and Ben. Really, weren't for Ben, I don't know where I'd be now. Maybe God would have saved me for some other way, but He chose Ben, and I praise God for Ben. And I probably made Him angry a couple times. I was so repentant one time that He had to tell me to pull myself together because of my crying.
Mm-hmm. Well, crying, as even in the first guest was talking about, that it is almost a spiritual experience many times of reaching a place where you're getting down to it. You're getting right down to the nitty gritty of something.
Well, Ben is one of them kind of people that he's just so convicting. I mean, what he says is the truth.
Mm-hmm. That's
if you can't, after hearing him, believe, then you're in trouble.
I noticed you held back there just a little bit, and he is probably one of the more repeated guests on the show, although we haven't had him here this year, but we've got numbers of his interviews, and I agree. I mean, if you hear him, you don't think you hear the sincerity in his voice. I guess you could say is a good way of putting it.
Yeah, and I've tried to be as sincere as I can, and a lot of people don't know I did a lot of these things because during the time that I didn't have no mission to do, I was allowed to come home and be a civilian. It was one of the perks that I had. And there was no set leave or anything. I just got to come home. And so I slipped in and out and did missions and killed 117 drug cartel leaders in South America, including 17 of the Cali cartel. And I shot a world record group that'll never be recognized. There's no glory in what we do. You don't get recognized for it except among your peers, and I don't care about the recognition. Really, what it boils down to is how many people are going to get born again and come to the point where Jesus Christ is the only way out. Mm. That's the bottom line. That's why I'm so comfortable in it. I mean, God's in control.
Mm.
If man was in control, you would have never got me to reveal any of this stuff.
Well, we have this nice note for you. Listener says, thanks, Lieutenant Colonel SC, for your grace and courage. And they'd like to see you come back on the program. And certainly we want to have you back on the program. And I noticed you mentioned there about being a sniper there. We didn't even get to that part. So
no, and I had no notes in front of me or anything, and imagine what I could do if I had all my stuff documented.